Hello, ladies, gents, and red-eyed bastards waiting in an airport with nothing to do. And so you go into the internet, that shitty-ass, crappy, free Wi-Fi, and you put on a video of the Blargh to put on to pass the time. Wonder if there's even one of you fellas that is even in that remotely possible situation, but very, very unlikely. Like, how likely is that? If we analyze the, let's go to the scientific statistics and go. They're scientific because they are very thoroughly and scientifically collected by the machine. The scientific method is absolutely in effect. But what I'm trying to say is, let's go to the statistics and say, if, let's say, 2,000 people watch this video, what are the chances that one of those 2,000 viewers is waiting in an airport with nothing to do, and they are a Blargh man, super Blargh machine, amazing Blargh of the ages fan, and they happen to see this video exactly as it gets posted while they're waiting at the airport, waiting for the next flight. I would say the chances are perhaps 0.01%, maybe. That is a very scientifically proven, obtained figure right there. 0.01%. If you say point at any point when you cite your statistics, you know that they are correct, because you have that extra dash of precision right there. There's a chance we can get this chest and key from the bottom. It's very hard to tell whether there is access or not. But this man is going to die. And the damsel is one bomb away. So it makes all the sense in the universe to molest him in such a manner. Here we are. Here you go. Here you go. Just upon this piece of garbage. Let me know if you're in the airport right now. It will be weird. It's a very remote possibility, but it's a possibility. So I'm going to just stick with it. Anyways, the daily challenge, after this extremely weak sauce beginning, is the daily challenge of Spelunky. I am in for the long haul today. We're going to... I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready to spend the next freaking 3 hours in this daily challenge, because I am absolutely prepared. I got my bottle of water, all kinds of energetic drinks next to me. I already took all my cocaine, so we're good to go. We're good to go. Absolutely prepared to get some good old spelunking done. I'm very disappointed that I have to resort to this, but I don't have stick bounds, so you know, I gotta do it like this. Now, do I have time to do this? I don't think that's even going to. Nah. Yeah, there's no way I have time to go all the way down there. Unfortunately, the bomb did not land on his head. If I am into do it like that. No way that's gonna happen. I'm very resentful of this man. Get Shrek, you piece of garbage. I hate you. I'm pretty sure that by now we have reached the bottom of this pit. So, you know, this is not good. It's not good at all. Also, the ghost is coming from that side. I'm just going to wait here. Hopefully, it will not jump all the way over here and erase my anus from existence. I'm just trying to get that good stuff ghosted. Feels good. Feels good to get the old ghosted. I spent a few more bombs than I was necessary. There's no contest on that assertion, but no regrets. No regrets at all, if it means that now the man is free. Oh, there's also a ruby there. That is ghostable. Yeah, we're not going to drop there. That would be foolish. What we can do, actually, it's not that bad because I have the climbing gloves, so it's no big deal. There we are. All right. This man should not be too much trouble, because he is... Man, I didn't even check whether it was recording, whether my audio levels are fluctuating. Everything looks good, though. On my other monitor, everything looks good. Feels nice to be to be all above board. Yeah, he shouldn't be too bad. I should be able to jump right next there with the rope is at and obliterate his anus. Absolutely wreck his life. But for that to happen, I need to make this ghost disappear. I'm still using fake Paco Spelunky. I completely forgot to switch characters because I started the video like the second before I started recording. I hit that record button. I was like, okay, I need to remember to flip over to the real Paco Spelunky instead of this fake that I have been using. This is the default. Yeah, you can see here right here the orange outline. Back in the day when I purged my save game, I could not let go of Paco Spelunky. I could not just play the freaking default dude. Are you kidding me? That is a freaking blasphemy. So what I did was replace the character in the files, Spelunky text files. You know, the not the text file, the texture files, or I guess it's the animation files, the GIF files. No, it's an actual, it's a different kind of, it's not a PNG, is it? I think it might be just a PNG. Anyway, the point is, this is in fact an imposter. And the real Paco Spelunky is just languishing in the selection screen. And I was in my mind, I was like, I need to remember to do that. And the moment I hit the recording, the moment I started talking, completely forgot that's the thing I wanted to do. God damn it. I was trying so hard to get these diamonds ghosted. I mean, these gems ghosted into diamonds. But the moment I started recording, you know, muscle memory goes in, I go into autopilot, I start blathering all kinds of absolutely nonsensical garbage, and I entirely forget my intent. So I just go through the motions the way I always do. Get wrecked, you filthy, disgusting animal. There is a shopkeeper down there. He has a collection of bombs and a death wish. We're going to grant him this death wish, steal all his stuff. Come on, keep walking, keep walking. Thank you so much for cooperating. Your cooperation is much appreciated. Have a nice day. Might as well throw that at the bottom. We might come back, but it's not 100% guaranteed. Okay, it looks good. Looks good. I would like some sticky bombs. I would like something on these climbing gloves. We appreciate it. To have the means. There's one emerald over there. There's no way I don't really want the jetpack because it makes me careless. Hey, this guy's dead. Oh, it fills me with such great joy to find this dead, pathetic piece of garbage right there, ready for us to laugh at his demise. There's a lot of gems here. Of course, only 14 bombs. So I'm not going to be spending the resources to be getting that sapphire right there, but it's totally worth ghosting over here, if only for those 2 gems. I guess I'll use the rope because we have plenty. What else can we get? Getting to that emerald is a challenge, but I have used the rope now, which means that I need to at least try to be ghosting. Always be ghosting. That is my motto right there. Not always be closing. Well, are we closing what? Makes no sense in this Spelunky context. Always be closing. Always be closing your butthole, I guess. To the assault of shopkeepers, that is one way to construe that good piece of advice for realtors. Always be closing your butthole to assault. I guess that's a general purpose good advice. Never open out your butthole for a stranger. You never know what they might do to it. You never know what kind of diseases they might insert in your anal cavity. Some very wholesome topics as usual. Just wait until I get into the controversial topic of the day with the immigration and all the free speech stuff that's going on and all the hysteria that is going all over the place. It's going to be just so juicy. Actually, I have no plans to speak about that because I don't know enough. And unlike a lot of people on the internet these days, If I don't know enough about a topic, I'm not going to just blather whatever comes out of my asshole as my opinion. If I don't feel confident, if I don't have a good solution for a problem, I'm not going to just blather on to say, okay, this is exactly what needs to happen. It's like if immigration were a simple issue where you just gotta do this. If that was a thing, the problem would be already solved. It's an extremely complicated thing with all these people that, you know, they just want a better life for the most part. There are criminals mixed in there, but for the most part, immigrants are just people that want a better life. That's all they want. But, you know, there's borders and there's different values between countries. And it's not as easy as welcoming them with open arms, because then the criminals get wind of that and they're like, okay, we can just go in there and do whatever hell we want. We can go to a different country and ruin it. So it's like, yes, open borders would be a fantastic position, and ideally that is what I would love, for borders not to even exist. But then you have the bad actors taking advantage of that. So it's not as simple. Well, I guess what the bottom line I'm trying to say is that children should all be put into concentration camps and just be left to perish. That is my official opinion. You can quote me on that, and I hope that you enjoy. Have a nice day. One or another, let's just simply move on past all this foolishness. Didn't even wait until the ice caves to Rant and Rave, which is not even, like, I didn't actually give you my true opinion on anything, which I am not even, I honestly can't even form one, because these days we're in a post-truth environment. It is so damn frustrating. You hear a report from one side. I'm not even going to give you the examples, because you will pick apart the sources. That is how sad the environment is. But I have two 100% conflicting accounts from two sources that I thought were both pretty damn trustworthy. And they're not, actually they're not 100% conflicting, but they're in pretty direct opposition. And suddenly I'm like, well, I thought that I had the truth, but then I hear this other report and I trust both sources. Or I want to trust both sources. I no longer trust either. But the bottom line of that, with that, like, I'm not trying to peddle an opinion. The bottom line of what that entire process of finding two people that are telling me two different things, and they both want me to believe them. It's like, maybe the focus can be no longer about focusing on what the truth was, what actually happened. Maybe the focus needs to be, what do you think should happen in the future? What is your actual position on the things that are happening right now? Without focusing so much on finding out the truth, because we live in a society, in an environment where actually finding the facts of the matter, it's no longer as easy as opening a newspaper. Used to be, man. Used to be, you could actually do that. Open a newspaper, you'll get the news. For the most part, you will be able to trust whatever is written on those pages. These days, finding out the facts, I mean, just thinking about finding the facts just reminds me of the struggle that I went through. The struggle was real. The big struggle that was finding out the truth about the wage gap. I spent upwards of, and this might sound like a complete first word complaint, and it totally is. I spent 2 hours of my life finding the truth about something. Well, you know, people used to have to actually report and investigate and do sources and interviews. Count yourself lucky that you were able to get at the truth after a few hours of independent research through going through all the archives on the internet, instead of you actually putting in real work. So that is a little bit of a relative tampering on my complaints here. That, oh, the truth is so hard to get. I can't no longer just open a newspaper. Well, maybe it's not that hard to get. Maybe spending a couple hours researching online, maybe that's a little bit better than the investigative reporting that the newsman put behind writing that article in the newspaper. That is a possibility. I was hoping for the Sapphire to get ghosted, and ended up getting nothing. But just thinking about the daunting prospect of finding out the truth about who is actually saying the actual factual thing that actually happened with actuality. Just the prospect of that is daunting. I don't want to do it, which makes me be like, I just won't do it. I'll just figure out the way that I feel about it, and I will act accordingly. I have an opinion, instead of bothering with such silly things as facts, because there are alternative facts out there. Alternative facts, not in the meme out facts kind of stuff, but also there are stories out there that are presented 100% as truth, and the source doesn't look bad, so this seems legit, but it turns out that it's total baloney. So it's just so frustrating these days. I was talking with my wife the other day, and recently too. It's a pretty recent and topic of discussion. How it's just so hard to figure out what is actually happening versus the narrative that is happening, that people want you to believe because it supports their agenda. It is just so damn frustrating. And here's another bottom line for you. If you think that your side is not doing it, you are one naive motherfucker. It's like, no, Ben Shapiro is always right, and all these dumbass SJWs, they're always over exaggerating what's going on, and all these lol cows, they're just melting down. It's all a circus of left-wing politics. Nah, man, there is a lot of melting idiots on the internet that are working really hard to get Trump reelected. This is all US politics, by the way. If you're outside the US, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense to you. But, you know, I am now a US citizen. I'm a legit US freaking citizen. I am now entitled to have a very badly formed opinion and not have to do any kind of research on my opinions anymore. I can simply embrace ignorance like a good American. So I could just... anyway, to carry on with that, there are a lot of people melting down and the culture of outrage that are working really hard to get Trump reelected out of spite. But there's also very truthful reports on the left that are, being completely dismissed by right-wingers, so they can continue on with the narrative of everything's fine and Trump is the greatest guy in the world. Conversely, there's so much bullshit on the mainstream media. One of the most clear-cut examples, it was kind of like an eye-opening moment. I was already very suspicious, but the eye-opening moment was, I know for a fact, because I've watched a lot of stuff, but I can disagree with a lot of things. I am not a religious person. And the entire religious land of Jordan Peterson really does not jive with me. But he's a good guy. But importantly, what I want to say about that is, he has very clearly, unequivocally, come out as a critic of the entire alt-right bullshit, all the right-wing bullshit politics. What, do you think I'm leaving? I'm not leaving. You thought that I was going to just cock out? Absolutely not. I'm just going to deal with this horrendous monstrosity of a prawn that I came across. Everything was fine. But then you have a freaking report on NBC, CNN, one of those, just outright saying that the man is a far-right advocate. It's like, you are purposely misconstruing his words to paint him as a bad person. It was so disgusting. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen coming out of coming out of quote reputable source such as that. Extremely disappointing. I'm extremely disappointed as well of this man's insistence to be a penny my asshole. Okay, there you go. Fantastic stuff. So both sides are doing it, man. It's like your side is just as bad. There is degrees. I could not possibly tell you. I have no actual statistics or you know, it will be very hard to see and say which side does it more. Definitely, I would say, while there's always been, you know, biased accounts on the mainstream media, certainly the entire fake news movement started with the right side of the aisle, the entire fake news to make trouble kind of thing, and the and the other side started pointing out, rightfully, like, you know what, these reports are 100% fake and you should not believe them. But of course then the opposing side that was being accused of fake news turned it around, in my opinion, masterfully. They masterfully manipulated the entire fake news narrative to start calling mainstream media completely fake news. It's tragic because he made it, certainly created this entire environment of you cannot trust anything you see in the news anymore. But it was masterfully done how they turned that narrative around, and now is 100% the narrative of not 100%, but it is one of the mainstays, one of the go-to arguments of the entire fake news thing is to say mainstream media is fake, they're just fake news, which is most of the time that's not entirely true. Most of the time it's not fake news, it is manipulated news. It is doctored to fit the narrative. It is a sprinkling of facts with the narrative slathered on top. It's just extremely disappointing. So I am still a person that considers himself a liberal, especially in social issues. I certainly lean very much to liberal positions. I cannot honestly say that I have much of an entity with the left anymore. With the political left in the United States. I feel like this. I feel like I will never be caught dead voting for Trump. I'm his ilk. But man, would I grit my teeth to vote for the left. That's my current position. It has changed over the years. It might still change, which is a really good thing. Like, I really always weirds me out so much when politicians and the like. Oh man, there was a Kali out there here. Totally neglected her. We could have had a Kapala now. It weirds me out so much when politicians get accused of, oh, you flip-flopper, you changed your opinion to change with the way the wind blows. It's like, maybe he got conflicting information and he changed his opinion because he got new facts. It's like, how is that a bad thing to change your opinion based on new information? That is like the best thing you can possibly do as a human being, instead of just recalcitrantly holding on to a view despite all the evidence pointing out to the contrary. It's just so silly, so silly. I want these 3 gems, but I don't have the sticky explosives. So I'm just embracing the fact that I'm spending 1 bomb for each one of these, I guess. There's still a shopkeeper at the bottom. Let's just go down there and murder him. I have zero fear. Still no spring shoes. Please, please. Get me out of here. Go away! You're an annoyance of a frog. Oh jeez, oh jeez, oh jeez. Okay, 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 it's all good. Alright, we need to dispatch the shopkeeper. We want to get that Kapala running. I could have left a long time ago, but I was busy ranting and raving. I was busy trying to get rid of a giant frog, a giant cyber frog, if you will, if you attach a whole bunch of mechanical limbs to it and then paint it green. What can we do about the shopkeeper down here? Well, what we can do is just fill up his face with lead. I hope that you have enjoyed our political discussion. I hope you have enjoyed my stating without any fuss my current political leanings. I know that that is a very welcome tendency in gameplay videos. I know that you come here to see all the amazing things that I can possibly tell you about the way you should believe, and don't give a damn about all this Spelunky shenanigans that are happening. So that is just what I do. That's what I do. It's all for you, fellas, because we are all engaging here in wonderful conversations.
Let's start a conversation about these controversial topics.
Let's just all treat each other with respect. Unless you support the right-wing politics, in which case you are a bigot and a Nazi. I am trying real hard to end the life of a shopkeeper. This is my life now. I just want him dead. I just want him dead. No! I really want him dead. I paid the ultimate price for that. That was a lot of money for starting the freaking jungle. Very upsetting to have killed myself like an idiot. And in the back of my head, like, I've been jumping against the sticky trap. That's kind of garbage. Not a lot of people made it to the end. Maybe it was something really hard in the... you know, you can't even tell anymore because Spelunky is not very popular anymore. Not a ton of people are playing Spelunky. Let's go to the real Paco Spelunky here. And I have a few minutes to do a few speedruns. Let's do that. There he is. There he is. The real deal. Well, I'm glad I didn't wait until the ice caves to comment on all these fantastic things that have been in the back of my head, because, you know, the Spelunky therapy continues. I go into Spelunky not to play video games and have a good time, just to work out through all my mental issues, and you guys are the collateral damage of that process. I do wonder, though. I do wonder how many people I might turn it off immediately by all this discussion. I mean, though I would certainly say, of course, this is a biased opinion because it's something that affects me personally. Certainly say that I've always strived in all of my, you know, whenever I go into a rant like that, strive to adhere to the facts as much as possible and present it in a way that is not exclusive. Like, presenting in a way that you might disagree with my opinions, but you don't feel attacked by those opinions. You don't feel negatively about those things. You might just have a different opinion, then you let me know about it, and then we have an agreeable disagreement in the comments, and that's the end of it. And you don't feel negatively about hearing all these things that I'm saying. That is a tightrope to walk, especially... You always want to say, especially in this day and age, but is it really, though? Like, we are always biased towards feeling more negatively towards our current time, but this is true facts coming from the Blargh right now, from me to you. This is indisputable. We live in the least violent time in human history right now. It seems like it's an extremely conflicted, very, very polarized world, but dude, you have no freaking idea how bad it's been throughout human history. It's not saying so much that right now is good, it's saying it's been so much worse. It's just been retarded how much worse I don't want any of those things. Human history, how much violence and genocide and just horrific things humans have done to each other. We live in the freaking golden age of humanity right now, compared to all the terrible things that have happened that the human race has inflicted upon itself. All the terrible millions of dead in wars, all the famine, all the horrendous diseases. Well, we're talking about just violence. Like, human against human violence is at an all-time low. You can look this up. I mean, of course, there's some fluctuation. There is ticks ups and down. But on average, you can see that trend, that graph of human death, human on human death and violence. I don't know how you can track violence without death, so I think it's only death. You know, people getting killed through interhuman violence. No, I'm going the wrong way. And it's indisputable. It's just simply indisputable that we live in the least violent time of all of the ages. And I'm not saying there's no room for improvement. Obviously, it's still pretty awful in some places in the world. But that's another thing. That's another thing that you can take away from all this, man. I think you're struggling now. And individually, yeah, I will not take away the fact that you might be struggling. There is certainly not trying to minimize the terrible things that you might be going through at a personal level. But our current regeneration in the West, it's not going through anything. This is echoing another controversy that was on the internet that I wholeheartedly agree with. This lady, she was like, you're not going through anything right now. You are aping all the struggle that previous generations have gone through. And you should feel freaking, I mean, now I'm paraphrasing, but you should feel freaking ashamed that you're not appreciating the amazing opportunities that you have. Instead of you're just continuing this victim narrative, because it is so much easier to pretend to be a victim. Not pretend, but to make yourself a victim, as opposed to actually seizing the plentifulness of opportunity that is in front of you. Okay. A good story, cool story, bro. That descent was fantastic, and I feel kind of proud of it. Took a little while to get through this jungle level, but we made it. Don't put yourself down. Don't think that the man is holding you down. The only thing that's holding you down is your own inability to recognize opportunity. And sometimes abject poverty that you personally might be in. I'm not going to diminish the fact that there's some people that are indeed more privileged by circumstance. Not everybody is equally positioned, but where the law is concerned, you are golden, motherfucker. The law is not holding you down in any way. So, stop being a pussy and get out there and do the best you can do. That is my positive message at the very end. You can do it. You can do it. Don't let yourself talk yourself out of success. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it! Goodness, this is awful. The entire Ice Caves level was garbage, and I resent it greatly. But hey, we made it to the freaking... Oh no, we have not gone to the temple yet, but we're making it there. This speed run, it is very, very slow. But we are progressing. Sweet. Trying to find the exit. I think it's to the right. There you are. Yeah. Made it through. So here we have a daily challenge in which this Spelunky gameplay took a backseat to my ranting and raving. Is it really a rant when it's 100% truthful? I don't think so. I thought for sure I had the timing on that whip correct. I was like 100% planning to whip that guy in the face. You saw me press the whip button, but I was a little too speedy on embracing his anus, and I got a sound pummeling as a result. Akaven had a nice talk with me and then punched me in the face, and then got himself crushed. Here comes our demise. I have become a fine bloody paste on this side of this crush trap. Hopefully you enjoy yourself. Let me know if you want me to shut up about this. This is something that I listen to. I respond to the kind of vibe that I get in the comments. It's like, if you appreciate this, I'll get into it again. If you're like, you know what, you're going on too thick. You're going on too thick. I don't really want to hear so much about it, about your personal opinions on this controversial bullshit. It's not even, though. I didn't even tell you that immigrants should all be put into concentration camps and sent into gulags or anything like that, which is my honest to God true opinion on the matter. I totally shut that out of the entire conversation, so I don't know what you would possibly complain about. Hope to see you in the next one. Until then, just maybe keep your mouth shut.